Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to do another hometown favorite. Again, from being from Pennsylvania. And our wintry cold nights up there, looking for some good home-cooked, bone-sticking food. This is one of my favorite recipes. So today we're going to make shepherd's pie with scalloped potatoes. A lot of people have been waiting for me to make this one. So today I will give it a shot and show you how it's done. Here we go. So in today's recipe, obviously the burger, veggies, cheese, milk, or spices. There's the potatoes for on the top. Instead of being mashed, they're going to be scalloped, and then everything that goes with that part of it. Okay, let's get to it. Alrighty. So first thing we do is we got 2 pounds of ground beef. We're going to stick this in the pan to brown it, and then once that's brown, we're going to drain all the oil off and the grease, and then we're going to add some onion and some spices. And when that's all browned up and ready to go, I'll bring you back for the next step. Alrighty, now that our burger has browned, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this trick that everybody's been doing. Is you stick your paper towels in here to suck up all the grease. And put that on the plate there, because I have a special little collector that I use to get rid of all my grease. Okay, I need a few more paper towels and we'll be ready to go. Yeah. So you're getting her all out of there. Okay. That's pretty good. All right, we're going to turn this back on, and now we're going to stick in here some onion. We're going to put in the onion. We're going to turn this down. Now, I'm going to put in, I have just a little bit of this dried onion left. Normally, you know, you would use raw onion. Again, everybody that knows me knows that I'm not a raw onion person. We're going to put in here, I got the Lipton. I always use Lipton onion soup mix. Them cheap ones just seem to never have enough flavor. So I got the beefy onion on this one, just because we're going to have this as a meal. Okay, we'll put that one in. 2 packs. We're going to put in 2 packs. Okay. And what we're going to put in here is, for right now, we're going to put in 1 cup of water to get that all mixing around. And then we're going to put in our veggies. And I got 1 bag of peas and carrots, 1 bag of mixed, because I like a little corn and stuff in with my shepherd's pie as well. Usually it's just peas and carrots, but we're going to mix them together. These are 2 12-ounce bags. And let me get a pair of scissors here. That's a tough bag. Drop the pea. And okay. We're going to cook this down until that starts to thicken up a little bit with the Lipton onion soup mix and everything in there. And you want the water and everything to be evaporated out of the frozen vegetables. So when you put it in the casserole dish and you put the scalloped potatoes on the top, that when as they start to cook, you won't have all that water log sitting on the top and mix it with the cheese and making a mess of everything. All right, so we're gonna let this cook down. And actually what I'm gonna do is, while it's cooking down, I'm gonna add a little bit of these onion powder, onion and salt. We're gonna put in here like 1 teaspoon of each. just enough to get a little step up in flavor. Okay, well, I gotta get some more of this soon. Almost out. Okay, and we'll let that cook down and we'll be right back. Okay, now that that's all mixed together, you can see it's not dried out or anything like that, which is what you're trying to avoid here. We are now going to get out the mandolin, and we're gonna slice up real thin these potatoes here, because this is the real deal potatoes. We're also gonna shred a block. I have Colby Jack. You can use cheddar, or a lot of recipes call for cheddar and everything else. I have a block of Colby Jack that I need to use up, which will be fine. Then we have our butter and our flour to make the roux, and we're gonna get working on that next. Alrighty, now that we got the cheese and the potatoes sliced and shredded, we're going to now make our roux for the cheese sauce. So we will start with 4 tablespoons of butter, which is basically half a stick. Turn it down just a little bit. I'm going to go with my spoon. Oh, my spoon is over there. Okay. We're going to melt this down, and then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm sorry, 3 tablespoons of flour. I don't know what I'm thinking. 3 tablespoons of flour. I might as well just give you this up front. 3 tablespoons of flour and 2 cups of milk. And that will be our roux. Then we will start mixing our spices and our cheese in to form the sauce. So let me get this melted down, and when I'm ready for the next step, I'll bring you back. Alrighty, so butter is melted. We're going to put in here our 3 tablespoons of flour. Okay, let that get mixed around. I'm going to incorporate the flour and the butter together. What you're trying to do is make sure there's no lumps of flour in there. You want it to get all thinned out with the butter. Okay, now that that's cooked down, you can take a gander in there. See, it's all bubbly and thickening up. Okay, now we're gonna get 2 cups of milk. And I'm using whole milk here. If you want a more creamier, more richer flavor, you can go half and half. I know a lot of people only use 2% and skim. I'm usually one of those people, but I decided for this recipe, because I'm making this for other people to try. Being down here in Florida, there's a lot of people that don't have things like this to eat that we make from up home. So I'm going to give this a little more richer, creamier flavor. Okay. What we're going to do is let this go for a couple minutes until it starts to thicken up, and then we're going to add our cheese. Okay, as you can see, this has thickened up. That's what we're looking for. So now we're going to add just a little bit of, sorry about that. We're going to add just like a half a teaspoon of paprika. I'm using this, I have smoked paprika. We're going to half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and not salt. You don't need any salt in this because you're getting plenty from everything else. A little bit of half a teaspoon of onion powder. And then we're going to mix in our cheese. You need 3.5 cups of cheese. This is a 1 pound block. shredded. We're going to leave just a little bit left at the end to put on the top when we put it together. A 1 pound block makes around 4 cups of cheese, shredded. And you can use the bag cheese if you want that's pre-shredded. The only problem is with that, it has all the anti-caking agents and everything in it that really ain't that good for you to begin with. Second, it's a lot cheaper. And third, if you have those in there, what will happen is it won't stick to potatoes. I mean, the cream will help it stick, but it's not like the real potatoes, like the real au gratin or scalloped potatoes that you're going to be eating. It's going to want to pull away from them. So it's not going to be a thick coating on those potatoes like normal. So, but again, you don't want those extra chemicals and everything in your cheese if you don't want it. And this will help it stick better. And it's, like I said, the one thing is it's cheaper. It's way cheaper. All you got to do is get the mandolin out, shred up what you want, put away the rest, or shred the whole block like I did. Okay. Look how creamy that is. Super creamy. That's what we want right there. Okay. Now, I've had my potatoes sliced and sitting in water. And for the simple fact that I did not want them to dry out. So I'm going to strain these off. This was, I had 2 big potatoes and then 5 smaller ones. So I just shredded them all up. But it comes out to be, you know, you want 5 to 7 potatoes shredded for this recipe. And again, it depends on size. If it's probably close to 2.5 pounds of potatoes that were put in there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take these potatoes. We don't need to worry about cooking them, because when we put it together and bake it in the oven, this is when they will soften up and cook themselves. You don't want to overcook these because it'll just turn into mush. So we're just going to dump this whole thing in here, and then we're going to give it a stir. And then after that, we'll start putting it together. But there's always something with me that's a little different. So after this part, I'm going to show you what I do different than most everybody else that makes this recipe. All right, we're going to mix these together. Get that cream all over those potatoes. You just want to make sure that they're all equally covered, best as possible. I know it's hard to say equal because they're going to do their own thing, but we just want to make sure we get all the big pockets of cheese that are on the bottom all mixed together and flowing through everything. Man, that smells so good. Okay. And that makes a nice cheese sauce right there. Okay. We're going to put this to the side because we're not quite ready yet to put this together. So, I'm going to get my small pan out here. This is where this is different than most other people. I'm going to get 2 cups of cold water. And I'll explain this in just a second why I say we need to do this. Again, you will never see another recipe that does this the way I do what I'm about to do. So, it's always nice to be different. All right, so when you put this together, you have your meat mixture on the bottom, potatoes on the top, and you want this cheese to sort of mix in with this meat. The problem is this is going to thicken up as it cooks, and you got a little bit of grease that's coming off of this. It's going to push this back up and thin it out. But one thing you always get with shepherd's pie normal is you have mashed potatoes on top and the meat mixture on the bottom, and you have gravy. All right, so what I'm going to do is when I assemble this, I am going to put the gravy in the meat mixture already. So this will keep, oh, that was really stuck on there tight. All right, so this is trio gravy. This is one of the best gravies that I've ever used. And me and my daughter, ever since I got turned on from a restaurant from this, I have never used nothing else. So it's 2 cups of water per a 1/4 cup of gravy mix. And trust me, you don't need anything more than that. But this stuff is restaurant quality gravy. They sell it on Amazon. You can get it from the restaurant stores. But it's called Trio. And they have all kinds of different flavors. But this is the beef one. So we're going to put that in there. What we're going to do is we're going to whisk this together. Until it makes gravy. And it won't take very long. But you need the cold water. You can't use hot water because what happens is it just will go to regular clumps. It's like mixing flour and water together as a thickener. You don't need no thickener with this. You just need 2 cups of water. And this is one. Okay. So 1 bag of the Trio gravy you buy makes 1 gallon of gravy. So they have a breakdown on the back for people that don't need to make a gallon. That 2 cups of water per 1/4 cup of gravy mix. So you don't need no thickeners. You don't need no flour, water mixture, cornstarch, none of that. This is already ready to go. Just put it in here, cold, get it mixed up so it's all, there's no lumps or nothing in there. And then turn your burner up and just stir occasionally to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom. But this will turn brown and then be nice, rich brown gravy. Because right now it looks like chocolate milk, but again, it will change. Trying to hurry this up for you so we can start the process of putting it together. So when this cooks now, I'm going to assemble it with the meat, put some gravy over the top, layer it with potatoes on the top of that, and then sprinkle a little bit of the leftover cheese on the casserole dish. Then we're going to bake it. And that gravy, when you go to scoop that out, will help with the bottom where it's not dried out. So it's like having 2 meals together in one, but a flavor that's different than any other. There we go, it's starting to thicken up now. And as soon as it starts to come to a boil, it's going to thicken up pretty quick, and then you'll be done. Like I said, Trio, it's a great gravy to use. What's really good with this is gravy on French fries. This works excellent for gravy on French fries or a hot roast beef sandwich or anything like that. This is what we use this for. All right, I'm going to let this go, and when this is done, we'll bring back for assembly. Alrighty, now it's time to start assembly. So we're going to take our meat mixture here. We're going to start dumping in these casserole dishes. That smells amazing. Okay, so we didn't want this about, I don't know, maybe halfway full here. So you don't want it to cook over the sides or nothing, be a big mess. I'm going to save some to freeze 1 loaf because I'm taking it home to my family. I'm going to go back home, which will be in a few months. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1/4 cup that I was using, and I'm going to just pour some of the gravy right over the top of this. Because again, when you take a spoonful out of here, you want that gravy and everything to go with it. Okay, now that's in there. We're going to start laying our potatoes. Give that a nice big stir. Out of that cheese starting to fall back off of them. Okay, move this down here. Start laying on the potatoes. If they come off the spoon. Now you don't want to have these stacked on top of each other, like straight up and down. Give them a little spread around. They will cook. It just will take a little longer, and some of the ones in the middle might get a little hard. So we're going to spread it around. Plenty of that cheese sauce on there. Yep. It looks like you'll have a lot of potatoes when you first make this recipe, but once you start spreading them out like this, you realize that it ain't as many as you thought it was. Try getting down there. Okay. Put a couple more in there. Got some more of this cheese sauce I want to pour over the top. Just a little bit more potatoes in the middle here. Sort of level it off. Fill in all the little holes. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to give one more scoop of that cheese sauce. Alright, so now we're going to take a little bit leftover cheese. We're just going to sprinkle it on top. Heck with it, I'll use the rest of it. We're going to put this in the oven, 350 for 1 hour. Leave it uncovered. And when we're done, we'll bring you back. Alrighty. That's what it looks like coming out. Gonna dig in here and see what it's like. And here we go for the money shot. Oh man, look at that. Nice cheese and some gravy thrown in there. Man, this is gonna be some good eating right there. Alrighty, let's give this a try. Nice, and you can see the potatoes are nice and floppy. Wow, really good. Not dried out in any kind of way. Okay, that's one for the books. Alrighty, so here's the recipe. So what I'll do for you is I'll do a close-up so you can get the actual two parts together. So there is that one. And there's the cheese sauce. Thanks again, guys, for watching my videos. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.